Which of the following sentences demonstrates correct subject-verb agreement and consistent verb tenses? As a quick review, in general, subject-verb agreement refers to when a verb receives an S or not. If the subject is I, you, we, or they, the verb does not receive an S. If the subject is he, she, or it, the verb does receive an S. So we have I eat, but she eats. It sounds more complicated than it is, and most of the time you can get by with simply a good ear for what sounds right in English. In terms of consistent verb tense, we're looking to make sure that the sentence doesn't switch between different time frames unless there's a clear reason. If the sentence starts in the future tense, for example, it should stay in the future tense throughout, unless a shift is required for clarity or meaning. With all of this in mind, let's take a quick look at the subjects and verbs in our choices. A. The team is arriving tomorrow and visit the museum. Our sentence starts off with is arriving in the present progressive tense, which, although it may not sound like it, can be used to describe future events. In this case, it's used to describe the team's arrival tomorrow. Everything is correct here, but we run into a problem with the second half of the sentence. Visit is in the present simple, not present progressive. In order for this sentence to be correct, it should say, the team is arriving tomorrow and visiting the museum. This choice can be marked off. B. The team will arrive tomorrow and visit the museum. This sentence uses a tense called future simple, which takes will and adds the base form of the verb. For example, in the first half of our sentence, we see the team will arrive. Looking at the second half of our sentence, we see that this continues. And visit, base form of the verb, the museum. Although the word will isn't explicitly used here, it carries over from the original usage and applies to the second verb in the sentence as well. As all is in order here, this is likely our answer, but we can take a look at our remaining choices just to be sure. C. The team arrives tomorrow and visit the museum. Although this event is happening in the future, which we see from the word tomorrow, we use arrives in the present simple tense. This is used in English when something will definitely be happening, so although it sounds counterintuitive, it's actually correct. However, we encounter a problem in the second half of our sentence. Although visit is also in the present simple, meaning the verb tense is consistent, the subject-verb agreement is not. The team could be described simply as it, which we see needs an S with its verb. However, visit has no S. It should be visits. This being the case, we can mark this choice off. And D, the team will be arriving tomorrow and visit the museum. This sentence starts us off with the future progressive tense, will be arriving, but once again, we see a problem with the second half, which changes back to the present simple with visit. In order for the verb tense to be consistent, we'd need to say, the team will be arriving tomorrow and visiting the museum. This being the case, this can be marked off, and we can mark our original answer, choice B, as our final answer.